I'll turn this once in a while so you can see, or you can maybe sit there and you'll see better. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then as I'm doing this, I want to make sure it's lining up on my hip line here, right? So I'm going to line that up. And then what they want you to do is they want you to pin it intermittently along the hip line, right? And they're going to move it so that half-inch ease, I'm going to move to the seam line, right? Okay. And the reason you want to pin it is because it's loose, right? Mm-hmm. So if you put a few pins in every couple of inches, you don't have to pin it every half an inch, just to hold it in place at the same level. Distributing. You're
distributing it.
Yeah, just to the tape.
Distributing the ease.
Yeah.
Evenly.
And you just.
Okay.
So all the fullness is just
Distributing.
Yeah. And then, once you're happy with that, okay, and like I said, you don't have to use a ton of pins to do this, okay, just enough to hold it in place adequately. And you're going to start smoothing up the front here. This one isn't holding very well. Okay. So I'm going to start this way. Okay. And to my princess line, okay? Back here. Okay, this is where this comes into play. Remember this 3/4 here? What they're saying is they want you to locate this 3/4 line that you drew in from the side seam up here on the side. So you're not going straight up, you're going in. Do you see that?
Oh,
Yeah.
so that becomes your side seam?
Cool.
Yes, that becomes the side seam at the waist.
Wow.
Okay?
Oh, so it really is a lot like the bodice because there's more ease as you go and
Yeah.
towards the fuller direction.
And,
right?
and they note on page 80, when the side seam waist corner is draped correctly, that's taking that where it should be, a slight gap will occur automatically at the side seam above the hip level. Do you see the gap?
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay, right? It's not going to be totally smooth. There's a curve there, and it will ease in. Okay, so you're actually going to go from here to there. Yeah. Okay.
You turn just a little bit more.
Everybody see that?
Good.
Okay.
Definitely an ooh-ah.
The dart is already
It's like,
almost
wait.
kind of there.
What?
Oh,
I'll just wait because I want to see what this.
Okay.
this is
So
all about.
now
Magical
you're ready
things,
to put the mark the locations for your darts. Okay. So you have 2 darts in here, and the darts are standard. The first dart is located at the princess line. Okay. So you're going to come in and you're going to put a mark there. Okay. And again, I like to put my little cross marks in. I'm using the bottom of the tape. Be consistent.
Did you
Okay.
do that, Michelle?
Yeah, I'm going to turn this so you can see the cross mark at the princess line.
This is what we do.
Okay, this is nice and smooth through here, and I've located it there. So what has happened is I end up with some extra fabric, right? This much, right? And what they do is they want you to split that extra fabric, divide it, and distribute it evenly into 2 darts.
Right,
Okay. So what you need to do is measure it, right?
right. Divide it in half.
Divide it in half. So
Oh, that's
I
what
like
I
to
do.
do it this way. Okay. So I'm dividing it in half, and I come out to 1 inch, right?
Oh,
So
okay, so half of it's in it.
half of it's an inch. So I can then easily take a ruler or a tape measure and mark over 1 inch. You see what I'm doing?
Oh, okay.
And
Put one in there.
put one in there. And I'm going to go ahead and mark that. Okay, then, then, and I'm not gonna worry about how far down it goes. If you look at the book, it can be confusing, because they show you already, like, it almost looks like they've stitched the darts
Yeah.
in,
Yeah.
they've decided how long they are. They haven't. None of that happens until the truing, okay? So don't let that confuse you. But there is another standard here. Measure over on the waistline 1.25 inches. So you're measuring over 1.25 inches from the first dart, okay? Right here. At 1 1/4 inches.
That
And
is
this
standard?
That's
Second.
standard for all sizes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now that's an interesting question. You may wonder, because as the waist gets bigger, you think you might want to spread them out.
Yeah.
But if you spread them out too far, the eye goes out. Okay.
Yeah,
So
but if you're really, then
on another
might move.
mannequin, this moves over.
Yeah, that's true.
The princess line moves over,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what determines
where
the
they
look
are.
where they are.
Okay.
Okay. So many variables. It's a little fun.
So much magic.
Yeah.
This is magic, I swear.
That's so great.
It's just like,
But it's right over.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
can begin to see too that there's you might end up with a little bit of pulling, okay, and in this case it's not bad. I'm not going to worry about it, but you can always clip if you need to. So if you have a really small waist and your hips flare out, what I'm saying is you may need to come in here and clip to get it to smooth a little bit. Okay, don't be afraid to clip. So I'll go ahead and pin this in. And I'm going to pin this in. And it's measuring 1/2 inch bite, right? 1 inch total. Okay. And now I'm ready to come in and mark. I'm going to mark my waist at the bottom of the tape. Does this seem a little easier than the bodice so far?
Till here, yes.
not yet.
I could see, like, when we learn the bodice first, everything else kind of starts to make sense.
Yeah,
This is much easier, so it's,
yeah.
So these are the second dart close to the side seam. It turned a little bit like in diagonal.
Yeah, but it's not going to.
Okay.
That's why I say the length of the dart, the depth of the dart, the location of the dart is all standard.
the depth of the dart is standard?
Well, it is. It's it will split. Yeah, you split the half. So in that
Yeah.
case, it is. But it is. The darts have to be parallel to the center front and the center back.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so this is actually ready to true now. Okay, so I'm going to come in. I'm actually going to leave it on here for a minute and do the back.